When Donald Trump picked Mike Huckabee to be the U.S. ambassador to Israel, I went, oh boy, this is not good, y'all. This is really, really not good. And the reason I said it's not good is because Mike Huckabee is an evangelical, fundamentalist Christian and an ultra-Zionist. And so let's call it what it is. He's in a religious cult. This isn't your mom's kind of religiosity. This isn't, hey, maybe I go to church once a week. Sometimes I miss it, but it is what it is. No, this isn't a cafeteria Catholic. This is like, dude is in deep, dog, in deep skis. So the fact that he's of that mindset means he's all in with the ultra-Orthodox, extremist Israeli settlers and their psychopathic religious delusions, right? Well, here we have a video. This is Mike Huckabee talking to a couple Israeli rabbis. And, this just gives the game away, right? This is humiliation in front of the world, because listen to what he says. Here we go.
The ambassador has a very interesting view of anti-Semitism. Yeah. Rosh Hashiva grew up in America. There was anti-Semitism, of course. What I've experienced, we've all experienced it. The ambassador has a very interesting view of that. He says you can't understand anti-Semitism. If people who are anti-Semitic, it's because they're against God, they're against the Rabbi Shalom. And we are represented as his people, and that's why they're anti-Semitic. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Interesting view.
It's an interesting view. There's another view that since we consider the chosen people, so people are very, who are you? What are you taking big shots? Chosen people.
And that's part of it, is that because you are the chosen people, given a chosen place, for a chosen purpose. And if someone is angry at God, he'll be angry at the people who represent him.
That's right.
So I tell people anti-Semitism is irrational. There's no reason for it unless you understand the spiritual reason, which is what I believe is at the heart of it. It is not the left versus the right. It is good versus evil. It is the Creator versus those who rebel against the Creator.
The U.S. ambassador to Israel is telling this random Israeli rabbi that, oh, you're God's chosen people. What are you doing? As Max says, we are governed by psychotic cultists whose ultimate wish is apocalypse. Okay, that's literal. That's actually what they want. Do people not understand what the rapture is? This is what the evangelical Christian Zionists, this is why they're so buddy-buddy with Israel, is they think Israel needs to have all the land in the Middle East before Jesus comes back. And then after they get that land, what happens is Jesus comes down on a winged horse, kills most people, converts some Jews, and then they all ascend into heaven for the glorious afterlife. This is what they believe, but they literally believe it. They act as though that will actually happen. And so, genocide in Gaza, whatever. Steal the entire West Bank and screw over all the Palestinians and ethnically cleanse it, whatever. They're ultimately in favor of those things. They're in favor of Israel now bombing Syria, as they're doing. They're in favor of those things. Why? Because Israel needs all the land so that Jesus can come back, kill most of the Jews, convert other ones. And now you have, here he is, humiliating himself, U.S. ambassador to Israel. Oh, you're God's chosen people. And I love the thing about anti-Semitism. No, the reason for the rise in anti-Semitism is that Netanyahu and the Israeli government keep screaming from the mountaintops, we represent Jewish people, we represent all Jewish people, we represent all Jewish people, and then they go carpet bomb innocent people and starve them to death. And so a lot of people who might not follow this stuff closely go, if that's representing all Jews and that's what they're doing, guess who I have a negative opinion of? That's what it is. So it's Netanyahu and it's the Israeli government. They lead to a massive increase in anti-Semitism. Now, by the way, of course, that's bad. That's bad because we have so many people who are Jewish, who are against the slaughter, who are in favor of Palestinian rights, who are leading the charge on those things. So anti-Semitism is irrational and does make no sense. But make no mistake about it, the reason for the increase in anti-Semitism is because of Netanyahu and because of the Israeli genocide and the fact that they keep saying, we represent all Jews. This is for all Jews that we're slaughtering these innocent people. That's what they say. So it's unbelievable. But here he is, just humiliating himself, embarrassing. Oh, let me tell you my theory, and you're God's chosen people. Oh, I'm so humbled to be in your presence. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. And you are sort of feeding this notion too, by the way. Let's keep it real. Anytime you say that to any group of people, that's dark. And that's going to have negative consequences. Because now you're feeding into this notion of you guys are supreme. This is Jewish supremacy makes sense. This is what Huckabee is ultimately saying. If you're God's chosen people, you're better than others, right? You're special. You're unique. We don't play that shit. We're egalitarians. I believe all people are equal. All people are equal. And isn't that supposed to be what Christians believe too? But no, now you're doing this weird Jewish supremacy game. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. Absolute religious psychopaths controlling Middle East policy. And then you wonder why. Weird. I don't even get a criticism from the Trump regime. They don't even do a slight slap on the wrist for Netanyahu when they've killed like 10 Americans within the past 2 years. The Israeli government's killed Americans. Nobody talks about it. Nobody says anything. Nobody demands accountability for it or consequences. Nobody does it. You know, Israelis go out there and have a right to rape protest. When an IDF prison guard gets caught raping a Palestinian, you have the citizens go out there and argue for the right to rape. And the U.S. government doesn't say anything. They don't cut off the money. They don't cut off the weapons. They don't say, hey, pipe down a little bit. That's kind of crazy. They don't do dick. They don't do dick. And you wonder why. They're bombing Yemen. They're bombing Lebanon. They're, of course, they bombed Iran. They're going to fight Iran again. They're bombing Syria. They're stealing the West Bank. They're genociding Gaza. U.S. supports the entire way. Why? Because a lot of the people fucking making U.S. policy are this motherfucker. You have the Israeli lobby and AIPAC corrupting the whole system, buying off politicians, but you also have the ideological religious psychopaths like Mike Huckabee, and this is what he actually believes. I got to give you updates as well, because we just learned this. Breaking: 4 journalists, including a freelancer who worked with the Associated Press, are among 8 killed by an Israeli strike on southern Gaza's Nasser hospital. Now, by the way, I should point out, that number's gone up. I think the number is now 14 or 16 people who were killed in this strike by the IDF on a hospital in Gaza. And that number could probably go up even more. It can go up even more. Now, not only did they purposely, and make no mistake about it, it was purposeful. Not only did they purposely kill innocent people, but a bunch of journalists. They were aiming for those journalists. They also did what's called a double tap, which means you kill the journalists, you circle around, and then you kill the first responders, the paramedics. Ready? Here we go.
مقصود لهذا الزميل الصحفي حسام المصري.
لا حصل الآن
نعم.
الآن خليك يا الله راح الدفاع المدني قتلوا الناس راح الدفاع المدني قتلوا الناس استهداف كبير الآن كما تشاهدون في هذه الصورة.
God's chosen people, y'all. God's chosen people. Any thoughts on this, Mike Huckabee? Bombing a hospital, killing 4 journalists, killing 16 people in total, all innocent people. Then double tapping and killing the first responders as well. Any thoughts on this? By the way, let's be clear. When you think you're God's chosen people, this actually is the way you act. Just so you know. People who are convinced that they are so special, that they can do no wrong. Well, the logical endpoint of that is you end up doing a lot of wrong. You end up doing a lot of fucked up shit. And this is what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. Now, at the same time, if you thought, hey, this is as psychotic as it gets a little more psychotic too, believe it or not. Israel's defense minister, tweeting in Hebrew, appears to say that Israel will launch a campaign against Yemen aimed at its children. He promises a plague of the firstborn, a reference to a Bible story in which God killed the oldest child of every Egyptian family. So this is the guy, Israel Katz. He said previous genocidal things as well. He said, today we destroyed the Houthi presidential palace. For every missile they launch toward Israel, the Houthis will pay compound interest. Today we brought upon the Houthis a plague of darkness and gloom, and in the future there will be a plague of the firstborn. In other words, we will also murder your children in the same way we're murdering the children of Gaza. God's chosen people. Right? Mike Huckabee? Right? You want to talk about what's actually happening? Or you want to hide behind your fucking made-up bullshit biblical stories and the rapture, the end times, where Jesus comes back on a winged horse? Are you 7? Are you 7 years old? Is that what you are? Can't stand these people, man. I can't stand these people. I mean, clinging to their fucking insane fairy tales and believing them at the same time we're witnessing the worst atrocities in history, right up there with the Holocaust. And nobody's reining these fuckers in. We're the only country with the money and the power and the weapons to rein these motherfuckers in. And instead, we're on the sidelines cheering it. And actually, that's not fair. We're not on the sidelines. We are partaking in it and cheering it on as it happens. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you all very much. You guys know the drill. Everybody, please subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you absolutely nothing at all. You can support the show on Patreon, and thank you to those of you who do. Remember, this is real independent media. I've never talked to an advertiser. I've never done an ad read. You could also support Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. We'd really appreciate that. And go subscribe to the Corin's World YouTube channel. Remember, guys, tonight we have a live Kyle and Corin at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Corin's World, the YouTube channel. Don't miss it. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you there. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.